Yo! Video games.
Yeah, there you go.
We had a guy in our VF
And I get what Steve's saying, because like a third strike, I'm trash.
I was calling him Papa Smurf.
It's just like, woof.
You know, whatever. His level was whatever. But he was Leifei. And I was getting we were all getting our butts kicked by this guy. But it was so amazing just to watch him, like, figure stuff out. Like, you would try to do a combo and, like, and grab off him, and he would immediately duck, you know, and stuff. And it was just kind of, like, crazy to watch this guy. Like, gosh, he knows exactly what to do. Like, there's an answer for everything in that game.
Yep. It's a very intentional answer, actually. That game is very designed by Sega.
It's beautiful to see. Like, I was impressed even while losing. Just, gosh, this guy just knows. He knows what's best to use against this and that.
He's played the game at an excessive amount of time and knows exactly what to do in every situation. It's not the fact that I outplayed him. It's the fact that he's played the game
a lot,
so much that he knows what to do in every single frame. And those are the frame counters.
Should you stand a chance against that player?
No.
Should you? Really?
Well, in Street Fighter Alpha, I could.
Dude, I think you have not played people that are really good at Street Fighter Alpha then. I
don't know, man. I mean, I go to
see the game at the highest level.
I play at Family Fun. I play some of the best players in there, and I've always felt that I had a chance against them as opposed to Street Fighter 3. But that might be me, because I would get games in Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, but how much time did you put into 3 compared to Alpha?
About the same. I mean, that game was everywhere in that place. And
Family Fun was the two most popular played games.
Yeah.
Like, well, Marvel 2.
Yeah, I haven't played good players, Nico. I went to Family Fun almost every fucking day and played the best players around the planet. So,
Family Fun is literally, you know, like, there's 2 legendary arcades.
Now, I can't say
The people there were definitely good, but I mean, it was a bubble. It was one arcade in the world.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, it's like Chinatown Arcade.
Yeah.
Sure, it was a central hub in the U.S., but Family Fun was not the Southern California hub for Street Fighter players. That was called Golfland.
Yeah,
that's where they congregated.
In high-level Marvel, I wouldn't stand a chance, DJ. Go have a seat.
Which Marvel? Because
Marvel 2.
Holy fuck, man.
Steve will hang with the big boys, but 3 maybe not. You didn't like 3 that much.
I didn't play.
Look, 2. Look,
Steve will hang with the big boys in Marvel 2, but 3 is just not his
now that guy's just being biased. Oh, I'm gonna say something negative to this guy because I disagree with him. You couldn't play Marvel. Shut the fuck up.
Like I said, we came from Family Fun. Literally, like, there are 2 arcades, in Golfland as well. But we would actually go to Golfland to fight them, and Golfland would come to us to fight us. So there would be like field trips and stuff like that. But you talk about like best arcades, like literally it was like a gym.
Jesus, the damn game! What the fuck?
And it was
he was good
Force.
He was good in this one. Yeah. Way better than Third Strike.
Yeah.
In the second game, he's actually one of the best characters in the game.
Yeah.
By like a lot.
Yeah.
Him and Ibuki dominate second.
I'll talk shit for Steve because I was there in the arcades.
What the fuck is this?
I was like, yo, let's go. I was the hype man for Steve. I was nowhere near as good. Well, like if somebody beat me, I'm like, yo, Steve, take care of this fool. You know,
I wish Steve was there in Japan.
He was playing like
I get my butt kicked at Tekken.
He was playing like
the only competitive game people want to play was Tekken.
Suit Mighty
7.
was like a family fun guy. Suit Mighty is one of the best in the world. Justin Wong used to train people at Family Fun.
I played Justin Wong there. I played Suko. I played Fanatic, Finesse, and all this caricatures.
And the other dude was in Marvel now.
Yeah, I played tournament players, man.
Yeah. I mean, people in the chat just saying silly things because they don't know.
They're on the internet.
But on the other hand, though, like, all the way you feel about pairing is kind of the way I feel about, like, fucking Marvel in general. Like, there's this whole fucking playstyle and skill gap that it's just like, do you understand the chance? You walk into any arcade and try to play Marvel 2, you know, a couple of years after it came out, you're never gonna get anywhere. You were gonna die. You were not even gonna know what happened. You were just gonna get MSP till you were like fucking like bleeding out your ears.
And what happened? You're like, hey, you know, I don't play the game.
Honestly, I just like fuck.
You're like, fuck it. Yeah,
I would always say,
and that's exactly my statement for Street Fighter Third Strike. Is just that
say,
you know, I don't like
I think everything you say about Third Strike applies to Marvel 2 as well.
Yeah, but that's what I was
it's just like
I was like everything you have an issue there is like this me and Marvel.
It's like, hey, I see this new mechanic. It seems really OP in my opinion, and I don't like playing it. That's literally where I'm coming from.
Well, I also don't like in Marvel 2 how the game, whatever, roasting your sacred fucking cow now.
And it's not like I didn't.
But here's the thing: Marvel 2 became this assist fighter.
Yeah.
It was like you'd be playing the game, and it was just constantly like. You had your bread and butters, but just you're constantly throwing out assists.
Right, and if you didn't know how to use your assist rights, you weren't going to get good at the game.
Right.
So
that was the thing. You had to be good. Not only did you have to be good at playing any given character on your team, you needed. Well, I kind of got a brave there.
So and that's the thing. And it's the same thing with assists. If you didn't know how to use assists correctly, you weren't going to get a good game. And if you didn't know how to use parries in Third Strike, you weren't going to get good at the game. And I felt like, okay, if this person...
It feels that way, but it's really not true because Chun-Li is a character that doesn't use fucking parries and doesn't really need to. Like, there are characters in the game that don't need to parry.
Yeah.
Like, Ewan is a character that doesn't need to parry. Like, there are really characters that it looks that way because guess why? You get blown up by it because people love doing it because it's fun.
Yeah.
And everyone loves doing it, but the people that are the best at the game just play footsies. They play it like old Street Fighter, funny enough.
It's one of those things where you don't see it when you're in the arcades, unless you're seeing like two pro players, you know, at Evo doing top 8, and then they're not doing it. But for the most part, when you're going out there and you see those guys play in the arcades, they do one parry, cancel the combo into super, and the round is over. Jesus.
I always said this, chat, back in the day, Steven is prime would get top 32 in Marvel 2. Prime Steve. Probably even top 16. Let's call it.
Oh, didn't kill?
Magneto.
Marry me, Steve. Calm down.
Damn, it feels so
Prime
weird.
Steve. Hey man, I was there, Chrono. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, that's right!
Had a disgusting Magneto. Disgusting Storm. Psylocke.
That's why I don't like Marvel, because I never learned the basic fundamentals, and then even learning the basic fundamentals, you had to learn how to like properly pick and use assists.
You had to
constantly.
dedicate yourself to the game, and that's not something that I was willing to do with Third Strike. You have to dedicate yourself to the fucking game, and I was like, let me understand what this character's gonna do in frame 3 of a fucking light kick. And so I can parry exactly this moment, so I know exactly how to counter.
That and the fact that another thing with Marvel 2, I'm not really never was super thrilled with because it was obvious. A lot of that roster was not viable. Like, unless you had other people, and I did in college. I had people who were super cool about playing around with other characters, but it was like MSP and Sentinel. It's just.
And you know, here's the thing too.
No one was getting around it.
You know, like back in the day, I guess me and Steve and stuff like that, we were never frame counters. It was just
Nobody was back
miles.
then. Nobody really was back then.
Yeah, but even later on, still to this day, you know, like,
where's my Shoryuken?
You know, he's not really counting frames. Like, is this safe? Is this that? Like, that's about it.
With Tekken Cobra, the parries, which is the low parry, was very rare. You rarely see somebody actually get that low parry.
Rocket punch.
Back in the day?
Rocket punch. Rocket punch.
You know, how was Steve Steve though? Like, you go Starlight Storm?
Gotta love that sound.
Ah!
I mean, no, I mean, Tekken is in frame data. Steve never went through the frame data. He was never a frame data guy. Just like, is this move good? Oh, this move sucks. I'll never use it.
Yeah.
Is this move good? Oh, okay, I'll use it.
I forgot. Okay, I figured out this combo. How do I set it up and how do I get this guy in it?
Yep.
Sounds sick.
Same, like,
Or I'll just watch somebody do
Yep.
some crazy shit and be like, dude, that's cool. Let me try that and then let me see if I can improve on it.
Yep.
Simple as that. Frame counting is a whole other ballgame.
yeah, we're like, never part of that.
It's a dedication. It's a level of dedication which separates casuals from FGC. And an FGC guy will play one game for his entire life and be amazing at that one game, and he'll go to tournaments and he'll make top 8 and be the guy for that one game. And he won't touch any other game.
Oh.
Us casuals will go from game to game to game to game, and we'll have fun. But that one FGC guy will play that game to his heart's content and end up hating it at the end of the day. Because he's playing that one game over and over.
When you
and
get really
over
good at a game, you start hating it.
you start hating it. This comes to any fucking game. It goes to shooters, it goes to fucking, fucking WoW and LOL and fighting games.
Anything competitive.
And at the end of the day, we
Dude,
have
and
fun. We play games at a relatively...
And I refuse to go that far down the rabbit hole of any fighting game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, and the thing
So
is,
I know that there's a skill gap, and
Yeah.
when and that skill gap is that wide in a fighting game for a mechanic that doesn't get that's unlimited. I lose interest in that particular fighting game.
Whoa, I jumped forward. What the fuck? I hopped
and the thing is,
forward.
too, like, we get to have fun with a lot of fighting games, and we can play them at a decently good level. But we're not like, we're not
Well, the thing is,
we're
like,
not Evo Pro
again, though,
levels.
like, if you are going to dedicate your life to, like, say, Street Fighter 3, like, you don't use parries.
A casual wouldn't consider me a casual, but how often do I play all of these games? You know what I mean? Like, I can't play all of these games at a ridiculous.
Well, the thing is, it's not, you just don't like Third Strike's, like, mid-level.
Yes, that's also a good call. The mid-level of Third Strike is too punishing, especially for a person that understands how to parry way better than I do, or better than most. Oh my god. Is that not here?
Right there.
Huh. There you go.
Casual mid. We're like mid.
Is this here?
We're like mid.
No, it is. He has fucking Yang's uppercut. Weird. These characters, like Yoon and Yang, were not supposed to be two characters ever.
True, that's
So
true.
seeing like, oh, Yoon doesn't have.
There's two different types of casual, you know what I mean? There's different levels of
I'm
casual.
not pairing these. That's a nice one. That wasn't mean.
He's spamming it.
Oh, okay, so there you go. You guys can light it.
Okay.
And Steve's already acknowledged him.
Oh,
Wow. There you go, dude.
Damn, I'm letting the stun.
Wow, this stun refused to hit. Nice.
And really, I mean, I don't think it's wrong to just not like the way a game plays. I do not like the way Street Fighter 5 plays. Ergo, never played much Street Fighter 5.
That was a high.
Sure.
Just didn't like it. Didn't hate it. Don't hate it. Still don't hate it. Still think, I think it's a good game. I
I think the
don't like
problem
the
is
way
that
it feels. It feels too back to back. Well,
I
don't know how it feels now.
I think the problem is that Max is correct. Max knows
that's a problem.
yeah, and it's not a
Started
problem.
funny.
It's a problem for the chat because when Max says something, it's fucking the word of God to the chat. So Max is correct when he says that. Yes, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the level of parries
well, just the understanding of like the highest
parries
level of like Alpha
mechanics.
2, the highest
Yes,
level of
yes.
3S.
And I'm trying to explain to him that it's not. It's like, okay, you don't understand what you're talking about when it comes to high level. No one's doing parries. I'm not
I know,
playing
but
these
you
guys at
don't
the
see it
highest
much.
fucking level, And the guys who are playing at highest levels will parry me regardless, because they know the game at that particular level. And if I'm playing somebody at a super high level on alpha, they only have the chance to do that one mechanic once because they need meter for it.
Sort of, but I mean, like, you like KI. You played KI.
I do like KI, but at the highest level,
like
I'm not doing anything.
Motherfuckers can break you
100%
free with no consequences.
Sure.
Whatever.
And I know I can't do anything against those guys. At the high level at fucking KI, I can't do anything, and I accept that. At least in Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter 2 Turbo or any other Street Fighters, at least I understand what I did wrong. With Third Strike or Killer Instinct, I know there's nothing I could have done. I think that's a big key difference. No, there's nothing I can do.
I think
against those
KI's
guys.
very good about just like this guy. He parried, he broke you there. He knew you done it. Oh,
No, the reason why
counter broke you. He called your bluff. Kind of thing.
This is the thing with Killer Instinct. Those motherfuckers know exactly how to break a combo, knowing every single thing that your character is doing. So they know how to break every single combo.
Yeah,
so these motherfuckers are breaking combos within the first 3
But
hits.
it'll even tell you he broke your light. He broke
Broke your heavy.
Yeah,
And it doesn't matter what I do. I can switch up the combo and they'll still know what to break at every single level because those guys know the game.
They
at that
know
fun
what.
level.
But you can also break them. And you
can also counter break or something like that.
Right, which is why I like KI.
Motherfuckers
Because,
at that level
it
will
tells you
eat your
exactly what you did and didn't do right.
Yeah.
Like when you as it's going. And again, why I honest to God think KI has one of if not the best fighting game mechanics
Yeah.
of all time is because in KI you are always playing the game. You are always making decisions. If you're getting beat up, you got the option to break. You can you can just counter break. You can choose. There's even shadow counters, or is it called shadow counters? The alpha countering.
This is the funny thing.
It's like when you're block, and then you can do a super back out of
That's a
it.
shadow counter.
Yeah, this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing that what Max was telling me is that some of the pro players they actually complain about that. They what was it? Max?
I was there. I was there when they were getting bitchy about the fact that they couldn't punish as much as they wanted.
No, it wasn't that they couldn't punish. It was the fact that they wanted to be able to do combos freely without having to worry about.
Right, they wanted to punish you.
Yeah, the Street Fighter players essentially wanted guaranteed answers.
Yes, guaranteed answers.
It's a game that is like Third Strike. There's no guaranteed
They want
answers.
a one-player fighting game.
Yes.
And you know what's funny? That is flowcharting. They wanted that flowchart element in there.
And I think it's Simmons too. KI can be, but it's never really a one-player fighting game because, like I said, you're getting put in a crazy combo.
Yeah. You only stop playing the game when you stop pressing, when you decide you're not going to press buttons anymore.
Yeah.
Like Power Rangers, it's like, oh, this guy touched you. You don't get to play anymore.
Yeah, you don't get to play more.
anymore.
And so the game becomes about, okay, now what do I do to not just get hit once?
Well, the game is now I have to do that to him before he does it to me.
And you know what's funny? It's not even about one combo, one move combos or whatever, or touch of death combos. It's about the blow up of the reset. If another guy knows how to reset you, oh my god, it's like the craziest thing ever in that game because you're doing dumb damage right after that.
But it's like no matter what, the timer on getting a combo, you could miss. You call it wrong, you try to break wrong, and you have that little timer, and it shrinks down. It's it's not really touch of death.
Yeah.
It's okay, what if he keeps going again? Well, then you're gonna get another chance to break it.
Killer Instinct doesn't have a single touch of death character. There's no touch of death.
My name is Mira.
Mira, I've seen some shit.
Well, because it's high risk, high reward, but yeah.
Her health is that silver health is all
she'll
over.
do it.
Sacrifice most of her health and fucking kill you with one counter break if she gets the opportunity.
Yeah.
One counter break and potentially one more guess, you're actually dead.
I've seen some shit with Mira, but for the most
But
part.
I don't know. I 100% get what Steve says
I was
because
just set it
in
up.
Third Strike I'm absolute trash. And it's just oh my god, it's a whole nother level. And like I said, some people love it. And I was just man, I appreciate Third Strike, but man, I feel what Steve says. significantly better than me than Third Strike, but I'm like, man, it is tough. It is, because it's a whole set, it's a whole nother thing. So it's like, man, I want to play Third Strike, but it's just like...
That wasn't a ninja, huh?
No, it was regular.
You hit my Aghanos and tell me there aren't. But again, both Aghanos and Mira have something, you know what they have to do? They have to fucking set that shit up. Like, Aghanos has to, like, fucking eat rocks and shit. And
Guess what? That's a consequence. They have to set it up.
Yeah, so,
Right?
I mean, like,
No, but like,
to
like in other
say,
games-
to say, like, well, there's touch of death and KI, I'm like, with these characters, I'm like, yeah, but there's a lot of
very
setup that goes
circumstantial.
into
Yeah,
it.
very circumstantial. But it is there. And I understand. There's a good trade-off.
He's not gonna do it off the bat.
Yeah. It's like Dan in Alpha Fighter 5. It's like, well, he does have an infinite combo, but there's circumstances around that when he was able to do it. Now he really can't. So
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you're playing KI and you let this motherfucker set up 4 fucking walls.
you deserve it.
I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen?
I mean, we saw that in MK11 with God, what's his name? What's the guy with Jade?
Jade?
The guy who's hooking up with Jade.
Oh,
Wow! He gets his totems up.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
yeah.
You're looking at like 80 to 90% of your health if he gets a combo after his totems. So he earns the right to be able to do that, and I get that. It's really cool. Can I be wrong?
Yep. But it's not like some other games where you just get the
do it,
free. I don't know. Like, and I think it's too, like one-player fighting games. I mean, that's why a lot of people don't like MKX, because MKX is almost a one-player fighting game. There is some back and
MKX
forth.
is some Vortex shit.
Yeah, it's
man.
Vortex shit. But
And you know what?
I think it's a good mix.
There's pro players that don't like that either.
Yeah.
They get upset.
Yeah, there's a lot of pro players who don't like it, and they like 11 because of
Yeah,
that.
I know that's why a lot of people like 11 because
Slows it down.
yeah, and it's not a hot take, Jazz. Like I'm saying, that's why we were saying like MKX is almost a one-player fighting game because it is crazy. Like the most one-player fighting games could be. I mean, it's like Power Rangers.
I mean, yeah, there's
Marvel 3.
There are pro players that don't like MK11 or MK11, and there's pro players that don't like MKX.
Yeah.
And I say to that to each their own because you can't win them all.
No, you can't win them all. And like sometimes like some crazy level MKX is insane. It's like Jesus Christ. But I think MKX is I think it's loose enough. I think it's loose enough. I don't think it's not as
Ninja
crazy.
Killer hates them both.
Yeah, it's not
He's
as
amazing at both though.
It's not as crazy as Marvel 3. And it's not as crazy as
He
like
hates
Power
both
Rangers.
X and 11.
Yeah, just like not really. But,
I feel like 9 is the most pure.
Yeah, 9.
I don't know if you
Well,
played
9 is silly broken, but the thing is to do the silly broken stuff.
Cobra Shocker was like young.
Yeah, but he started getting into 9. Like,
This MK9 Cobra, you were like 10 when that came out.
Yeah, like what? How old are you when 9 came out?
It was 10.
9 is crazy broken, but like to do
Which is, target age for Mortal Kombat.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I said it. 10-year-olds love Mortal. 10-years-olds love Mortal Kombat.
But I don't know. MK9 though. I mean, both
Coming.
Steve are both like.
I'm coming.
Oh God, you rolled at me.
15 MK9. We're online warriors.
That's right. Ken had a random roll in Alpha Series, right? He had the same type of roll.
Me and Steve, because I remember Steve like, dude, you get in the top 100. I'm like, well then I gotta get in
Cobra
the top
didn't even play it
100.
at launch. You only picked it up 5-6 years ago. Wow, okay.
And like, I'd be down with MK11, like just make it more loose. Loosen it up. That's all I want. If you would loosen up MK11 a little bit, I'd be like, yo, let's fucking go.
MK9 is basically a 3D version of MK Trilogy. I am so lost.
Just about. Well, not
Wow.
3D meaning
Polygons.
polygon.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? A 3D version of what?
Like I could be down. Like I get why a lot of people don't like X and like 11.
It is basically MK Trilogy, though, yes. Did anyone play this game long enough to discover any sort of tier list?
Oh,
This
of
game?
course. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Sean's got tier, Ibuki's got tier.
Really?
Yes.
Sean?
Oh, yes. This game was played a lot, actually.
Huh.
The second one.
The second one, for sure.
Second Impact?
Yeah, in fact, there was plenty of moments where I would see a good, healthy amount of people playing in places that had Third Strike and Second Impact cabs, where there'd be a lot of people like that were waiting to play 3S would be playing the Second Impact cabs.
No kidding.
Yeah, for sure. This game's got its own like very unique feel. This game is like, if you don't like love Third Strike and you want a different feeling Street Fighter 3 that doesn't suck, that's this game.
Well, it doesn't.
Because the first one sucks. It just feels weird.
Yeah.
This one is like, oh yeah. So it's like clearly not as polished feeling as Third Strike, but at least it doesn't feel like shit, you know? It's got its own unique feel. This is literally like the Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter, right?
To be honest, if they got it right the first time with Third Strike, this game would have been successful.
Oh, great.
Right, like 3 as a whole.
Yeah.
Because they have to do it 3 times to get it right, you know what I mean?
You know, when you
terms
go,
of the most-
if you go back and look at the time when it came out and what was going on, that's actually still kind of debatable.
Well, you saw the Mac muscles what happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, and that's a good that's a good
Time to get those fries.
digest about the whole thing.
One up
where
here.
it's like
Don't follow me.
No.
one of the most sadly tough things about Third Strike is well, 3 in general. When it came out, we were all on that fucking 3D Kool-Aid. I remember it. I was there. And like, even like, people didn't appreciate how good fucking sprites in this game looked. Because people wanted fucking, yeah, they wanted their Tekken. Or they just wanted anything that was like 3D and shit, so.
You were on that Soul Calibur trip, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Certainly.
I was. Soul Calibur is funny because I remember seeing the magazines come out like a month before the system did. It got a
Got me.
score, and I was like,
So his die pick is
bullshit.
busted.
No
Yeah,
way.
busted.
Like
It's
no
so
way Soul
fast.
Calibur could be so good. And I've said this.